Welcome, everybody, to Dan Excelsior, the Mostly Marvel podcast. It's me, Ricky, and I'm with Dennis, joining you this November 17th, Comic-Con pre-reg eve for those that celebrate. With us today, we got special guest, Lacy.
Hi.
Welcome back, Lacy.
I'm happy to be back.
AKA Zorro for Me 3, correct?
Yes.
Zorro for Me 3.
We can throw that up later.
Cross everywhere.
When was the last Lacy show? I think I missed it. It was
a year ago.
What if, right?
It was the What If.
It was a What If Loki, right?
Well, Loki was one of them. And then it was a What If, I think the zombie episode.
Was it the zombie one?
One of those. I remember we did Loki and then we did a What If. So
yeah, and you were supposed to come back for something earlier this year.
And people kept getting sick and other things kept popping up. It was just
yeah. And we're like, screw it. We're doing it without Lacy. Yeah. But it's cool.
Been a minute. Yeah. Oh, well, we gotta catch up on. Let's get some recent stuff. Loki season 2. What's your thoughts, concerns, likes, dislikes?
I need to finish it. It's I know. The last 2 to 3 months I've been training for a promotion at work and everything. So I worked like crazy hours. I was working from like 9 in the morning to like 1:30 in the morning. So I was like, didn't really have a lot of time for TV and stuff, which really sucked. But
I mean,
it's a little timey-wimey. It's not something that I think you can just turn on. Loki season 2, would you agree,
Dennis? I have to binge because then I can keep track better with what's going on.
I feel like it'll binge well.
Yeah.
Good evening, Tiltbot. I hope I don't regret acknowledging you.
What's he tilting?
I don't know. Yeah, I will say Loki demands your full attention, especially the last episode. The other ones are kind of annoying.
It's a little hard.
Yeah.
They have their moments so far, it's a lot of cool scenes and then a lot of like
I think everything about them except the plot is great. But it's worth it when you get to the end. I promise that.
Well,
I'm excited.
Amongst the other stuff, I'll say I'm not going to make you go through each of the MCU properties that come out since you've last been on the show. But what's any standouts within the last year that you've enjoyed?
Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember from when we last talked too. Let's see here. I've enjoyed Moon Knight, even though it makes me twitch so much because I love Egyptology and the mythology. So I'm like, there's so many things wrong, but I know it's a comic book.
Was it Moon Knight last year before What If?
Was it? It's all a blur. I'm gonna tell you this last year.
What If wasn't last year though?
Blur.
What If was last year?
What If
was it?
Year and a half-ish.
Oh, I thought What If was 2 years ago.
I remember the last episode now. It was The Boys.
Yeah. What If was last year, wasn't it?
I think so. Oh my god, this whole year's a blur now. I don't even remember.
You're already looking it up right now.
I think What If was last. I think it was last year. What If was last year?
2021.
2021.
So it's been a couple years. Oh my god.
Oh, so Moon Knight was the year. So Moon Knight was last year.
Moon Knight was last year. Yeah.
Moon Knight was last year. Yes.
Yeah.
So Moonlight. I did enjoy Moonlight. Or Moonlight. Wow. Who's that superhero? Moon Knight. I've really enjoyed like Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel was a lot of fun. Did you watch The Runaways? I've heard mixed reviews. I'm not sure if I want to. Not sure. Opinions.
That show is rough. It's because like it's so cool to see the actors they're good. They look like them. They really, it's good.
They do wear the costumes.
They do
wear the things, but unlike the I don't know. I feel like the comic spends way less time focusing on the parents, and the show spends way too much time with the parents. Like you're not like the parents. I don't need them to be justified, and I don't need to find out what their motivations are. Nah, it's better when they're just bad guys, right? Like, am I wrong, Ricky? Like, you read about
you have to feel.
I don't remember them being anything. They're just bad people.
They're just bad people, right? And so, like, this show bogs itself down by casting all these like cool actors as the parents and giving them a chance to kind of like redeem themselves. And I'm like, no, it's about the kids. It's about the kids. But Spike from Buffy is one of the parents, so that's kind of cool.
I do love James Marsters.
Yeah. But like I never made it past I couldn't make it.
2 seasons or 3 seasons?
It's 3 seasons.
It's 3 seasons.
What's her name?
Sigourney Weaver shows up, right?
No, not Sigourney.
Sigourney.
No. No, the lady that used to be married to Hugh Grant and was a fembot in Austin Powers, the main fembot.
Oh God, I'm terrible with names. I know who you're talking about though.
She plays Morgan Le Fay in the 3rd season. No, not blonde.
Oh, not her?
Brunette.
The other one. The first one.
Yes.
Got it.
Wait.
I was thinking of the second one.
The Runaways crossed over with Cloak and Dagger, right?
Yes, Elizabeth Hurley. There it is. Thank you for that.
There you go.
Yeah. She is Morgan Le Fay, and I was like, I never even made it that far because I couldn't with that show. But they do cross over with Cloak and Dagger, which also got really bad in the 2nd season, which is really sad because the 1st season was so good. But those are those freeform Hulu shows. They're not. I don't even know if they're part of the MCU. Whatever.
They are. They're not.
Again, I got. Yeah, I've heard that they are, but I've heard mixed things, and I was like, I don't know if I want to give this a chance, but maybe I will. So.
But those are a little older. Those aren't recent. What about just to get a little more recent? Have you seen Guardians 3? Whoa.
I know. I heard myself. Actually, me and Tilt were supposed to go see it, and then don't know what happened. I think we ended up seeing Suzume.
Oh man. Well,
I know.
That's our show, ladies and gentlemen.
I know. I'm sorry. Yeah. This last year was rough. Dennis knows a little bit what happened, so it's been a.
But you have all this great content waiting for you, though.
I know. Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah, you get this good heavy binging.
Guardians 3 is probably the top of my list for the year so far for Marvel content.
So many.
I don't think that's any contest. I mean, we'll talk about it later, but Guardians 3 is a cut above a lot of their stuff this year.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The Marvels is probably the first movie I've seen in theaters in quite a while.
Well, I'm glad that you did that. I'm glad you did that.
I wanted to. I love Captain Marvel. She's like one of my favorites, and I loved the movie they did of her, a few years back. So I was very excited for this, and I love Kamala Khan. I really liked what they did with Miss Marvel as well. So I was like, yes, I want all this.
All right. Well, we'll get to that in a little bit, but it's good. It's good that we're caught up on where you're at in the MCU right now. You're a little behind, a little. But not you made time for the Marvels, and we appreciate that. Is there anything else we want to talk about before? What have you been nerding out on, if not the MCU? I know you've been busy, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Being a longtime One Piece fan, I definitely wanted to watch the show, and I was like, I don't care if it's terrible. I'm gonna watch it just to have an opinion, and it ended up being fantastic. Like,
I've never watched the anime. I've never watched the anime. I love that show. I will never watch the anime.
You don't want to watch all 1,000+ episodes?
I watched 15 minutes of the first episode, and I was like, I'm out.
9. Of course, it's an entirely different, vibe from how it is now.
Yeah, it's really
growing up as a kid. I don't know if you guys remember Toonami on Cartoon Network.
Oh, of course. Yes.
When One Piece came on,
that's how I watched DVD.
Yeah, that's when I that was bedtime for me when One Piece came on. That's when I knew.
But Ricky, have you seen it on Netflix?
I have not seen the show.
Oh, the show's
I'm
pretty.
interested. I'm down.
It's
I'll
pretty
check it
close
out.
to the anime, actually. They changed some stuff to make it make sense for realism, if that can be said for an anime live action.
The
But they
show
did a
is
really good job.
It's bananas, but it's very it's camp in a way that like doesn't go
Over the top.
it's over the top, but it's like but it somehow it maintains its charm the entire time.
Mhm.
It is super over
Makes
the
you
top
feel.
though. Yeah, it does. And the characters are really why you stay with it, because
Mhm.
like the guy,
need
the
it.
main guy, oh my god, that guy is amazing. Yeah.
And
We
they
need
were
a new show.
handpicked by Ichiro Oda, the creator of One Piece. It was his project. That's why it was fantastic, because he had a say in everything, and he's the one that handpicked all the actors.
That's
So
cool. That's
I was
cool.
like, that's really cool. So you knew that they were gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm down. I've just finished Goosebumps, and that show is
Okay.
greater than it needed to be. It's bad, but in a good way.
Oh, okay. Was it better than the movie at least?
It skews more young adult teen. Like
Oh,
there's some
let's read
like
the books.
they go places in that
I'm not
show.
gonna lie, I felt like I was 40 years too old for that show.
That show's amazing.
Did you ever watch it when you were a kid? Like with like
The 90s show?
the actual show when they came out, like back in I don't know.
I felt like I was
Yes.
40 years old, too old for that show.
Even that for two.
Yeah.
Fair.
I can't get behind a show that's like supposed to be marketed as a horror show, and like no one dies. Like no one dies in it ever.
It does skew like weirdly
moments.
adult for like Disney Plus. Like I will say, like there's like some stuff they talk about. I'm like, whoa, this is like,
bro. Logan's on Disney Plus.
I know, but there's a prompt you have to hit to get that content. Goosebumps is
Have
like.
you seen Little Mermaid? There's some moments in there where as a kid you don't get it, but as an adult you're like, oh.
Well, Mermaid is racy. The original one is racy.
Yep. Bring back that castle.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. What Ricky, do you have anything you've been nerding out on besides Goosebumps? Did you just finish
I watched a little bit, a teensy bit before the show of the Godzilla TV show. I think it's called Monsters, something a Monarch. The Godzilla movie TV show.
It's on Apple,
is that
right?
The animated
No, it's
live action.
Live action with Kurt Russell and his son Wyatt Russell. So they play the same character like in the past and present. Kind of cool.
But isn't Wyatt like infinitely taller than his dad?
We don't talk about it.
Yeah, we don't. I don't know.
Wyatt's like tall, right?
Movie magic.
He's like tall, right? I don't think he's that tall.
Is he famously
Tom
short?
Cruise
Like,
tall.
I don't think he's Tom Cruise short, but
it's fine. It works out.
All right, fair
but
enough.
it is cool that the project that got them together is Godzilla. So on that premise, cool. I'm in.
But that's on Apple TV, isn't it?
It is on Apple TV.
Oh, see, I don't have access to that, sadly.
You just got to buy a new iPhone. That's only,
I don't.
That's all you got to do.
You just got to buy a new phone.
Yeah. No, I'll buy a PS6 and get a free 6 months of Apple.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's there you go.
Yeah, that's better investment right there.
That's what I'll do.
Actually, yeah. It really is.
Yes. I'm trying to think of what I've been nerding out on this week.
I was just gonna say, what have you been up to?
I finished Only Murders in the Building last week.
Which was great.
It was great it was great as always. I'm trying to remember what else has been like. It hasn't been a super nerdy. Oh, you know what? I binged the 4 episodes of Chucky that are currently available, and those jerks probably because of the strike. But they split the season, so the second half of the season comes out next year, and it was amazing.
Is that season 4 now?
Season 3, I think.
Okay,
it's season 3, and this season, Chucky's in the White House.
What?
And he's going around murdering people in the White House. It's awesome.
Is this
sure?
Is the thing possessing the doll still the same thing from the original movies?
Yeah, it's still the same guy.
Okay, so
Yeah, it's
okay.
always, yeah.
That's
I think
funny.
it's the same. Is it the
It's
same voice too?
same actor.
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say
know
the
it's the
actor's
same
still
director
rocking.
all through it, which is also incredible. Or is he a showrunner
Yeah.
now?
Showrunner, yeah. So
Yeah.
he doesn't. I don't
Oh,
think
yeah.
he directs every episode, but yeah, no, he's amazing, and the show just keeps getting better every season because it's so consistent. You know, like Jennifer Tilly still, she's a cast member on the show. She shows up all the time, and it's so weird every time she shows up because it's Academy Award winner Jennifer Tilly playing the bride of Chucky, and it's
I
awesome.
need to watch it because Chucky was my kryptonite as a child. Like as goofy as those movies
'Cause
became, I just like it.
Dude,
I couldn't do it. It was too scary.
he murders so much. It's awesome. And it's like violent, but it's gotten
Sounds
to the
like
point
Chucky.
it's gotten to the point now where like people like are asking to be on the show just to get murdered by Chucky. Like so like
What an honor.
like Keenan Thompson was in an episode this season, and it was like, what's Keenan doing here? Oh, I know what he's doing here. He's about to get
He
murdered.
wants to get murdered.
Yeah. Like anytime you see a famous person on Chucky, you can set
gonna die.
the timer to about 2-3 minutes tops. That's it. Like that's like it's really good. It's good though. Yeah. But
Feel like he's gonna die, but how?
and the hows are always amazing. It's good. Highly recommend Chucky. Yeah.
All right. Did you wait? Real quick, we're on Chucky. Did you like the Child's Play remake?
I don't hate it with Mark Hamill as the doll.
Mhm.
Oh, that's right.
I don't hate
Aubrey
it.
Plaza's the mom.
She makes it fun because
She doesn't. I did enjoy. I enjoyed it more than I thought it was gonna.
Yeah, I liked it more than I thought, but it definitely feels like a departure from. There's so much lore in the Chucky universe, you know, like
Yeah.
the child,
It's like the satanic
Funny
panic
enough.
stuff, right?
Kinda, but yeah, but yes, it's so much lore, and it just felt weird to abandon it and go in a completely different direction, more like Megan, where it's like a rogue AI. It just didn't. I don't know.
I did enjoy Megan. Oddly enough, it's not as scary as I thought it was going to be, but it's
Megan is fun. Megan is very fun. Yeah.
I'm excited for the sequel.
Yeah, all that Blumhouse, man. That's all they do is make money or print money.
Five Nights at Freddy, man.
That movie's making bank.
I heard that was amazing.
That movie's good. It's really good. I've never played the game before, and
The games are fun.
I thoroughly enjoyed that movie. Even though there's very little murder that's shown.
Kids movie.
No. There's a lot of dead bodies at the end, and
it's more. I think the reason why they did it like that because in the actual games, I mean, most of the time it's you sitting there slowly unlocking lore while you're watching the cams and hoping that you survive because the animatronics trying to get after you and all that stuff. So it makes sense there wasn't a lot of murder because realistically it's only really like you, and then later in the games it's like maybe a couple other people. It's not a lot.
Oh, they definitely find a way to squeeze in some murderers, but you don't see them, and you're like, oh man, it's a bunch of off-camera murderers, and then you there's a payoff for it. There's a payoff for it later where you get to see them, and it's like, oh, okay, cool.
You're like, darn, I want to see.
Well, let's cool on over. Worst transition ever. Let's cool on over with some news.
That was one of your worst transitions, I'm going to say.
That was probably the worst transition ever. Hey, gotta be moving. You know?
I don't even know what cool on over means, dude. Like,
I tried to think of like a Cool Runnings pun, and then I honestly barely remember the plot of Cool Runnings.
We're gonna bobsled over to this. I don't know. Even that would make maybe slightly more sense.
I used
to meet you.
Oh no! Don't Mr. Freeze this.
Marvel Studios. Some news came out this week. What do we got? What do we got on the plate today? Shang-Chi director Daniel Destin Cretton is exiting directing the Kang Dynasty movie set to come out in 2025. he did comment on saying he's basically going to focus on Wonder Man and Shang-Chi 2. And also probably that movie's getting rewritten for Jonathan Major reasons and other MCU related reasons. So he's probably like, I'm out.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons to bail on that one. But I think the biggest one being like, bro, are you sure you can follow up on the Russo brothers? Like that's a big, those are big shoes to fill. Those are big shoes to fill. Yeah.
I mean, what do you consider a success? A couple $1 billion, or a story on par with Infinity War?
Yeah, I don't care how much money they make. I'm not.
It's more about the story.
He's not writing the thing. He's just.
I don't make the money, like any money from it. So, if I did, I'd care more about their take home. I care about the story. That's why we're here every week, to talk about the stories.
I'm all about the story.
Yeah. So I don't know. All I know is Shang-Chi was not a great movie, but his show on Disney Plus was really good. I'm trying to remember the name of that
American
one.
Born Chinese.
Yes, American Born Chinese. That was a great show. That was a cool show. I felt like that was the better version of Shang-Chi. So, but it was long form, so it was like 10 episodes. So you can never tell. Like, being a director is a rough gig sometimes, because you have a vision, but like how it gets executed is kind of determined by people above you and the editors and stuff like that. So I'm not saying he's a bad director.
His piece of the puzzle is not the whole enchilada, as they say.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you know what's also good in long form?
Yes.
Pedro Pascal.
So shocked.
It's not official, but multiple sources or circles, including Variety, are pretty much putting a pin in it that Pedro Pascal is going to be Mr. Fantastic in the Fantastic Four movie, also coming out in 2025.
I mean, honestly, like,
so
there was no way Pedro wasn't going to make his way into the Marvel universe. Okay. Like, that was always going to happen.
He's got his fingers in all the nerd pies right now.
I wouldn't have minded like a Ghost Rider Pedro.
No, but then it covers up his face. It covers up his face.
Yeah, it's what he's good at.
Like, which he's good at. I'm saying we don't need the man covering up his face more than he already does. Okay, like that's like, and on top of that, that's not even him in The Mandalorian. Like, he comes in afterwards, and
he has a good agent. He knows how to collect the check, man.
It's very Boba Fett. We've got a voice, and then we've got a body, and then
yeah. I want to see him. I want to see him and the stupid stretchy effects that better look way better. That better look way better than they did.
Little salt and pepper sides.
That'd be cool. He already got it.
He pulled it off. Yeah.
No, I'm excited for this if it's true. But I know without a doubt that even if this isn't true, he will end up in the MCU at some point.
Oh yeah.
You touched on it. You mentioned Lacy, the Boba Fett thing of having an actor and then a different voice. There's kind of another little rumor floating around of them doing Doom in that way, where you have a body actor and having the voice done by someone else.
Yeah.
Mads Mikkelsen, right? Is
Mads Mikkelsen, yeah.
That's one of the players in that circle. Both you guys, would you oppose of a no face Doom?
Wasn't Mads
Mads
already?
Was yes, Khaleesi, not Khaleesi.
No.
He was in Doctor Strange. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was the
Caecilius.
Thank you.
Yeah. Caecilius.
But if you don't see Doom's face and you just do a voice throughout the whole time.
But I want to see Doom's face.
Like, I want to see Doom's face too. That's the thing. That's the whole thing.
I just need those baby blues.
I need to see his face.
I just need that much.
I need his face. at a certain point.
Just this.
Yeah, just the eyes.
His face needs to show up in that story. But it's fine. I don't care. Like I'm not here trying to make demands. I'm just saying, like, it's you pose the question. Do I care if they choose Mads Mikkelsen as the voice and they do it that way? Sure, that's fine. He's a great actor. He's a great actor who got the shaft in Doctor Strange.
He should have had a hero or a main villain that's long lasting.
Yeah.
Like, who is Kate Silius? Like, that's such a it's no. Like, that's, if a character doesn't have a Marvel Legend action figure, you know that character doesn't matter. Like, that's just how it goes. Like, that's
awkward.
Yeah. Well, if you ask Taika Waititi about Thor 5, he would say it doesn't matter because he is not involved in that movie.
I'm just saying,
I think he's moving on to different projects now.
He's moving on.
For the record, he has 2 Marvel Legend action figures. He has 2. Yeah.
I was gonna say,
are there 2 Korgs? There are 2
Korgs. There's 2 Korg figures. Yeah. Wow. I don't mind this, and I'm not surprised by this. Like, I think I think he got a lot of hate thrown his way for that last movie, and he doesn't need that check, like he does fine on his own. So
he does. Yeah,
he does fine.
Great.
He does.
He's also sitting on a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, and he's still writing, episodes of, a few.
He did write Mandos, right?
He did several of the Mando. Yeah, it was like him and I think like 5 other writers. I think they kind of rotate, and you can always tell which one is his. He has a certain tell that's fantastic. But yeah, he's still writing stuff for other not Marvel, Disney shows and stuff like that. So
yeah,
he's not hurting.
And also he's got What We Do in the Shadows. Our Flag Means Death, and just
What We Do in the Shadows.
He's busy. He's a busy guy. I don't need him to come back for Thor. Like,
he's fine.
It's fine. Yeah.
Well,
I honestly don't need a Thor 5. Really. Like, I just, can we just
let's slow it down a little bit?
Can we just put Thor in other movies with other characters and just be okay with that?
I wouldn't mind a Thor 5.
I know you wouldn't. It's fine. What story do you need told for Thor to justify Thor 5? What is the story you're really longing for?
He either goes to Valhalla and he's there forever, so he dies, or
so just end of Thor. Okay.
Yeah, somehow he dies in the end. That's the third act's done. Or maybe he ends up ruling, like, show him ascend to. He's already the king of Asgard. Or he's not really the king of Asgard anymore.
Yeah. Well, no, he gave that to. He gave it to Valkyrie. He gave it to Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to see him die. Let him. What happens when a god dies? I think that'd be interesting.
But we already saw that at the end of Love and Thunder.
Do it again. I don't
he just wants it like permanent this time.
Yeah, I want him. Yeah,
let's see what happens in Valhalla.
Yeah, we saw Jane went to.
Or wait, doesn't Thor become a Herald of Galactus at some point?
He do that? Be.
Yeah, there you go. Galactus is coming, and he gets a new.
So
costume.
You want him to be a prop to serve a different story?
Yeah.
Why is that Thor 5? Why is that Thor 5?
Because money.
You're not getting paid.
I know. You root for all these people to get money, but you don't see a dime of it. It's not. All right, you got more news. I think you got more news.
We have 2 bits of news. We had some trailers come out this week. I'll say dealer's choice on what you guys want to talk about first.
Hold on a second. Before you do trailers, do you have any other MCU rumors? Because I thought you did.
I mean, there's stuff that is a little leaky, but I don't want to put it in the news. Do you have spoilers?
I like the Robert Kirkman leaky thing. That
was funny. That Robert Kirkman was doing some press for Invincible, and he essentially offhand made a comment about Steven Yeun told him that he tried on a costume for Sentry, and the joke was that he only plays characters who are blue and yellow.
Superheroes that are
I guess
superheroes
that super blue and yellow. That
and
was kind of confirmed but not confirmed, but
yeah, but he basically said, "Oh yeah, my good friend Steve Ewan is going to play Sentry in a Marvel movie." And it's like, whoa, bro! I don't think you're supposed to be saying this, and it's quite possible. It's quite possible you saying this just made it no longer a thing, but who knows?
Once you make the costume, you're already invested in that person. That's a lot of money.
But yeah, the rumor is that the Sentry will be appearing in the Thunderbolts movie.
Is it the Sentry or Sentry?
I always thought it was the Sentry.
I mean, his name is Sentry. That's hard to say. I have it right here. Let me see. I mean, I always called him the Sentry, but his name is just Sentry. It's just Sentry.
Oh, I always call him the Sentry.
Yeah.
Do you think he will have the hair?
The blonde hair? No. I don't think Steven Ewan is gonna have blonde hair.
Will he have the long hair?
He'll probably have long hair.
Okay.
I just hope it's justifiable and not like terrible wig.
Tiltbot, I think you think we're talking about a different character. We're talking about Bob Reynolds, Sentry, not Sentry, who is a different character.
I thought he was a robot. It's a dude? The man? It's a person?
Yes, he's a person.
Okay. Yes. Corrected. I thought it was like a Ragnarok situation of like an android type of thing.
No. The funniest thing about Sentry is actually
Sentry.
Sentry. Lacy, do you know how the Sentry came to be in the Marvel comics? Are you familiar with it?
I am not actually.
Oh, it's pretty funny. It was a prank they pulled on everybody. Basically, what's his name? Brian Michael Bendis had this character that he wanted to introduce into the Marvel comics, and they thought it would be the way they marketed it was Stan Lee's long lost character that never got to made or put to print, and so they made it look like old school comic books, like and they told this story over the course of like a 6-issue miniseries, and then the whole point was to like introduce him into the basically retcon him into the universe, but then they revealed later that it was just a creation of Brian Michael Bendis, and they were just tricking their audience into believing that this is something that's been around forever that just never got
time.
Yeah. It's just playing with the idea of like, people's acceptance of what is canon, right? Like if people are more willing to accept it if Stan Lee wrote it in 1960 something, but it never got printed for some reason, you know what I mean? But like at the end of the day, he's in the comics, and you gotta just deal with it. And
as long as it's not Brad Pitt, the blonde locks, I'll be okay.
Yeah, I don't think I need Sentry to be blonde, but I was slightly.
He needs the belt.
He has to have the belt. That's iconic.
He needs the belt and the cape. I mean, he needs to be like that giant Superman-y type character, that like
the Dorito chip body.
I'm not going to put that pressure on Steve Ewan. Okay, I'm not.
Dorito.
I'm not saying he needs to be a Dorito, but yeah.
But yeah, the belt makes it all.
I just wanted to get that in there because I thought that was an interesting piece of media that got leaked. Or I mean, like the video itself where he leaks it is super funny because he tries to backpedal kinda, but at the same time he's like, nah, it's probably not a secret. Everybody knows. And I'm like, bro.
I mean, Robert Kirkman's not gonna get in trouble.
I know, that's what he said. He's like, I can't get in trouble. I don't work for Marvel. That's what he said.
There you go.
That was literally what he said. And it's really it's like, wow, okay. I don't know. You might want to walk back that my good friend Steve Ewan thing, because not sure if he will be after that. Anyways, now you can move on to the other news you got.
Well, let's start off with, let's stay on the MCU train. We got a what if season 2 trailer earlier this week on Monday. It's going to
Mhm.
be debuting on Disney Plus on December 22nd.
Every
9
day.
episodes, yeah, in 9 days.
That's really
It's like the
cool,
12 days of
man.
Christmas, but 9.
Yes, exactly.
I'm excited.
What did you think of the trailer?
I'm
I
excited.
mean,
I loved the first season very much, so I'm very excited for this.
The first
I like
season for me was one of my favorite things that the MCU's done, period. So I was really excited when I saw this trailer.
I
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the intro of the trailer. I'm not a Christmas person.
I don't know why you're so hung up on Christmas. It's not like the
So
whole
when you're
season is Christmas.
when I mean this dude has a Santa hat on.
Because
Because it's coming out around
it's
Christmas is
coming out on
why.
Christmas. Like, I don't know.
That's like with Hawkeye when that came out. It was around
Yeah,
Christmas. They were like,
Hawkeye
show
was a
that
Christmas
Christmas
show.
elements.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Made it feel like we were watching it in real time.
Yeah, they had posters with snowflakes on it, and
Yeah.
I'll watch it as a professional courtesy. So
what the hell? I can't understand your hatred of this show.
I don't hate it.
Sorry,
I
your
enjoyed
your
parts.
contempt for it.
Yeah, I enjoyed
There's
parts of
probably
it.
maybe one episode that maybe focused around Christmas time, and the rest of like the 8 episodes are going to be nothing to do with Christmas. But you're just going to focus on that one episode.
Yeah, it's going to tank the whole season.
I like that we're clearly going to get an episode of like back in the 60s when Hank Pym was Ant-Man and
Prime.
yeah.
Yes.
That was and the Wasp was there and Bill Foster was there and that was cool to see and they were hanging out with T'Chaka. That's cool. Like to see Black Panther's dad doing secret missions with this elite SHIELD team. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that that SHIELD back then was just 3 people that could shrink. Like it was just that's what it was. Like, yeah. It's just 3 people that
you really
shrink.
need.
Yeah.
And then I like that we're getting more Captain Carter, and she's coming back, and it seems to be like it seems like there will be some sort of through line going on again, where maybe she's hanging out with Uatu this time, and they're monitoring the multiverse. Who knows? I don't know.
I'm excited to see some of the Supreme Strange. See what he's been up to.
Yeah.
And also, did you see there? I remember reading about it a while ago, but there's a new character that's being created for this show.
Kahori?
So Kahori?
Yeah.
Native American superhero?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because I saw her and I was like, who is this character? I don't recognize her at all. And I found out, she's completely made up. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Much like every character in the Marvel Universe.
Well, I meant like a non-existing character that's already known.
I know what you meant. But
they're not real?
They're not real.
Dang.
Except Spider-Man. He's real.
Well, Spider-Man may not be real in the next trailer. Madam Web, the Sony Spider-Man universe of characters. What's the acronym?
Spumco or something like that.
Sony.
I don't know.
Madam Web movie coming out next year.
Lacy, before I even say anything, what did you think of this trailer?
It's not what I expected. I have to admit I don't know her origins very well. I have enjoyed the comics. She's not like at the top of my list when I usually read Spider-Man comics, but mixed feelings about it. I'll wait to see how it is in theater. It just seemed weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna watch it. I'll just admit it. They have my money already. Do I want to? Again, professional courtesy.
I'm not gonna lie. This movie looks terrible. Like, I think it looks bad. Like, I mean, you get every Sony movie that's not produced by Kevin Feige. Okay, like
they put Sydney Sweeney in the suit. Sure, I'll go see the suit.
Here's my problem with this.
Have a suit.
Here's my problem. Like, do you know who Emma Roberts and Adam Scott play in this movie?
Aunt May and Uncle Ben.
Yes. They are young May. No, sorry. No.
Adam Scott's Uncle Ben.
No. Emma Roberts plays Mary Parker.
Oh, Mary Parker. Yeah.
Not Aunt May. She plays.
Yeah.
She plays Mary. Peter's mother.
Peter's mom. Yeah.
Yeah. Adam Scott plays Ben. I don't like it. I don't like it because I don't need all these spider people to show up in their universe of like 20 years before Spider-Man. Like that's just that's dumb, man.
You're gonna watch it and then
20
years later we're gonna watch it again and be like, just like Catwoman, like, you know what, it's not that bad.
But the
trick is terrible.
The trick is I never watched Catwoman when it came out, so I was able to enjoy it
20 years.
I watched part of Catwoman and I was like, I can't do it, and turned it off.
I liked it when we watched it last year. It was, or was it this year? I can't remember. It might have been this year. Yeah, it was this year. We watched it this year. But like, so my thing is, and I will constantly like beat this dead horse. The thing that they do not, I think they understand it. I think they just don't care about it. Is every single supporting character in the Spider-Man comics is a supporting character that supports Spider-Man. When you try and take them and make stories out of them without Spider-Man involved, it gets weird and dumb. And so like the only one that has a chance in hell of actually holding up her own movie is Black Cat. Like that is a fully
I was thinking the Miles movies.
No, sorry. I don't even consider Miles a supporting character. Miles is a full-on superhero on his own.
I just don't get why they don't say fuck it and put a Spider-Man in it. You know, like just do it. Like you own it.
Maybe he does. Maybe that's the end credit teaser.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Even like I'm surprised they haven't, you know, after into the Spider-Verse, you know what, we're gonna do a Spider-Man 2099 live action movie or a Spider-Man Noir live action movie.
Like, I was gonna say Noir would be fun.
Yeah, if you got it, you got those toys, play with them, Sony.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Is it cool that we're getting a Madam Web movie? Sure.
No, it's not.
It's not the Madam Web movie we want.
Do we need it?
I don't know why you said sure. What do you want a Madam Web movie?
I don't, but if I'm at a sushi buffet and there's a Madam Web roll and I already paid for the whole thing, I'm going to try the Madam Web roll, you know?
And that is not how this works, because you are not at a buffet. You actually have to actively go to sit in the theater and watch that.
I have to go grab movie. that roll.
You have to go. You have to go to the theater on a separate day from the other things you're eating at the buffet and watch this specific. Yeah.
Here's the thing. How does Madam Web get a movie, but I'm still sitting here waiting for a standalone Spidey Gwen movie?
Exactly.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like, why not make a Spider-Gwen movie? Like,
that's what I'm saying. There are supporting characters, and then there's characters that actually have their own comic books, right?
She can stand on her own.
I'm saying Miles has her own comic. Miles has his own comic. Gwen has her own comic.
Yeah.
Miguel has his own comic. Noir has his own comic. They all have their own comic. You know who doesn't? Madam Web. Madam Web does not go around rocking like giant issues of like super amazing sagas that you got to go read the Madam Web story. No.
You know what this was? They were in the group, like, you know, office, you know, just at a meeting going like, all right, we need a female character in the Spider universe. What will everyone love? And everyone's like, well, obviously Spidey Gwen. No. Need someone they've never met or known very well. Let's do this random character. It's like,
and then let's do
sometimes the obvious is the right answer.
And then let's also do a bunch of other random characters.
Like, it's weird because this movie was part of it was part of the Sony leak. What is like 5-10 years ago, right? Or 5-ish years ago. And they saw the public discourse when this stuff came out then way early enough to course correct. And they're still like, you know what? We're doing it. We're still going to do it.
Yeah. I think that's the weirdest part is like I could have seen a world where they could have done a Madam Web movie, but they turned it into a Spider Girls movie. It's
a girl
like
band.
It's a bunch of them, and I'm like, why is there so many of them? That's the part I don't get. Like, why did we need to do this many of them when all of these characters their origins are tied to Peter? Like Julia
Well, that's why
Carpenter.
they're saving him to make him born.
That suit that Julia Carpenter is wearing right there is an homage to Peter Parker after he got the symbiote. So, like, why does she have the black suit?
Because obviously Tom Hardy comes in and says it's Venom time and just gives her the suit. That's what happened.
But this movie is probably taking place 20 years before Tom Hardy becomes Venom.
Yeah. And you know what? If we say, oh no, let's not go with the obvious and do Spidey Gwen. No one I actually would have loved. I would have loved a Silk story.
Yeah, Silk would have been great. Silk
would have been fun.
Or Mayday. Do a future story with May Parker.
Wow, that's true.
Yeah.
Better choices, in my opinion.
I'm done being salty about this. I will before we move on to the next thing. I will say this, Ricky. I owed you. Last week, I said I had not watched the Echo trailer. I went and watched the Echo trailer. It was better than both of these trailers by a mile. By a mile. It was so much better. I am very happy and excited for that show. I am not excited for Madam Web.
Well,
I'll wait till it's out on DVD and I'll watch it. Maybe.
Yeah, unfortunately, Ricky's going to make me watch it.
Yeah, we're going to watch this show. So.
I watch Morbius, so I'll watch this crap.
Yeah, Morbius. That's what this is. Let's take this conversation and take this show higher, further, and faster, and talk about the Marvels.
Was actually probably one of your better segues. Unfortunately, you still have the slides up for Madam Web.
Yep.
But you know what? All our listeners who are great, they're not going to know.
Yeah,
and by the way, if you stuck it out this long, we appreciate you so much. Please remember to like and subscribe. I want to get that out there before, and then also you can find Lacy on all the different social medias at Zorro4Me3. I'll get that up. But Ricky, why don't you take it away for right now?
The Marvels, the sequel to Captain Marvel, came out 2 weeks ago, starring starring Kamala Khan. It's starring Brie Larson, Iman Vellani, and go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, well, yes, but not the actress name.
Yes, but not the actress. It's kind of like a pseudo, like, I kind of dig it. It's a sequel to Miss Marvel, but also Endgame in a little bit. I guess Secret Wars and also Captain Marvel.
It's a sequel to Miss Marvel too.
In Miss Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
It's honestly like the first movie to. I spelled that right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. It's the first movie to actually. I guess Multiverse of Madness is the first movie to really be a continuation of one of the Disney Plus shows, right? But but this one was built on the backs of multiple shows, and it's technically you have to have watched Miss Marvel, you have to have watched WandaVision, and you kind of have to have watched Secret Invasion also, right? Just a little bit. Yeah. So like it's pretty interesting that this show is finally these movies are finally at a point where they're like, fuck it, we have to cater to the people that we know are watching these things. And that's interesting because at the same time, I think those are some of the people they're pissing off too. You know what I mean? Like I know in general, there's a lot of people that just want to hate the Marvels just because of a bunch of horrible, disgusting reasons, right? Like the same reason they wanted Captain Marvel to fail which ended up making $1 billion. But I think this time around, it had a lot more going against it, especially with the strikes. They weren't able to promote this movie, and add in some serious multicultural representation into that movie, and you're just going to piss off a lot more people. So sadly, whether or not you like this movie, I know Ricky is a big numbers guy, but this is officially the lowest performing MCU movie to date, right?
Is it?
Second lowest. On the flip side of that coin, it is the most money a movie has brought in, directed by a Black woman.
Well, that's cool.
Second lowest. I think it's second lowest. I saw.
I thought it came in lower than the Hulk.
I didn't. I don't. I think depending on how you skew inflation, it is or not. But
if you're doing inflation, for sure, yeah. But I think it made like 47 million locally.
Yeah, it is. It is not a cash grab, as they say. You're not getting money.
Yeah.
Well, you're not getting the Marvel numbers. That doesn't mean this movie's not a success financially. Let's be clear. These movies make a ton of money.
They do. It made more money overseas too, as well. But I'm just saying, people who look at money specifically as a measure of a movie's success, like Ricky,
compared to the other MCU movies, yes, this movie is not performing well.
Yeah. But that said, Lacy, what did you think of this movie? I want to start with you first.
Okay, so two things. I really did enjoy it. There were probably two parts of it that was like, this didn't need to happen. This is unnecessary. At least two moments that really stuck with me that I was like, nah, we didn't need this. But the rest of it I really did enjoy, and I think part of it is because I really love Miss Marvel. Like, I really like how real her character is. Like, her reactions are very real. It's like her freaking out when she saw a cat eat a person. I'm like, yeah, that's a very real reaction. Why would you just go like, that's different? I'm like, no, I love her reactions. She's a very real teen. And again, I've mentioned before, I love Captain Marvel. I really did enjoy the first movie, but yeah, there was just a couple of scenes where I'm like, this should have gone a different way, or just shouldn't have happened at all. And I was like, it made me feel really weird watching it in theaters, but I should enjoy it.
Making Iman Vellani, Miss Marvel, kind of the glue of this movie. The heart and soul of this movie, as you will, was a very wise choice, because she is definitely like the levity she brings and the charm that she has. Again, to your point, like, I don't even think she's acting. Like, she's just like, I get to hang out with.
No, it doesn't feel like it.
She's fangirling all day long, and you know what? I'm here for it, because I didn't like the conclusion of Miss Marvel, the show. I liked every episode up to the conclusion. I think what really annoyed me with the series as it kept going on is it kind of got away from all its cool style. Like, in the first episode, there's a ton of really cool comic book drawing and like Scott Pilgrim effects going on, and then as each episode went on, they did less and less of it.
And less.
And so I really liked that when this movie starts with her,
you get some of it.
You get it back. You get it back a lot, and it was really cool.
I was excited.
And I love her. I just love Iman Vellani in the MCU, and so I think what's funny about this movie is I think they made a movie for the fans. I think they made a movie that is very much just an awesome action movie with almost no plot at all. It's paper thin.
Not really.
It is like, when the movie was first like going on, like the first 30-40 minutes of it, I was like, I leaned over to my wife and I'm like, I think they're doing the plot of Spaceballs. Like, they're literally sucking the air out of another planet to steal it for themselves, right? Like, am I wrong? That's Spaceballs. Like, that's literally. And then they keep going to other planets, and they're like, oh, we want your water, and then they'll go to another, we want your sun, you know, like, and it's like, this is dumb, guys. This is really dumb. But I would say there's probably 20 minutes of dialogue in this movie.
It respects your time. Like this movie,
it does.
They're like, all right, we're doing this. Cool.
Yeah, exactly. The other hour and 10 minutes is just straight action. It's just action all the time.
I enjoyed the action. I enjoyed the action.
And the first action sequence was amazing. Fun. It was so amazing. It was like, you know, because they were learning that they had to switch with each other, and every time they use their powers, it was funny. It was well choreographed. They managed to squeeze Nick Fury into the action with them. I think it's a great, you know, fun action experience for the whole family. Story-wise, go back to the
not a lot of plot. Realistically,
yeah,
it was a side story. It is, if you think about it, it was more of just like this thing's kind of happening.
Yeah. And Tiltbot, I agree with you. Like the best part about the movie is, I think because they weren't bogged down by plot, which is a weird thing to be saying, but because they weren't bogged down by plot, there was a lot of great character moments, and they got to like organically like grow together to become a team, right? To become a team.
I think it's, for me, I'm learning to appreciate that with these movies. I don't need everything to be an epic, right? They're taking on some world ending. They can be. They don't need to be.
But they don't have to be.
I appreciate.
But that said, if you think this wasn't world ending, you missed the movie, because 3 worlds got ended, or almost.
You know what I mean? Like galaxy ending, whatever scale you want to ramp it up to.
I mean,
2.5.
So just to be clear, I know you're not done with Loki, right? But like,
no, I'm not. No,
but what are you, like 2-3 episodes in, something like that?
I think I'm 3 episodes in.
Did you get to the right? Yeah, so you got to the episode where like they're gonna stop the rogue TVA agents who are going around and destroying a bunch of billions and billions and billions of people, right? And like they tell you in the show they killed billions, but they don't really like let you feel that, right? You like that scale is just so huge that you as the audience member can't even take a second to feel that scale. And so it's kind of dumb, because it's like, why even say it if you're not going to let us feel it? What I did appreciate, there was a moment in the Marvels where they spaceballed the Skrulls, and they sucked all the air, and Captain Marvel couldn't save them all, right? And she had to stop them, and she had to get Miss Marvel on the ship. And Miss Marvel, the heart of the movie, was really, she didn't want to stop trying to save them. And I felt like that movie succeeded better at establishing the scale of the horror than Loki did. That said, later on, I'm pretty sure an entire planet of water people died, and we didn't get to experience any of that.
No,
they stopped. They just took some.
No, I think they did stop it. I think they did.
They left because they didn't. She took off because they were more concerned about Dar-Ben getting the band from Kamala, and so they dipped out. Instead of staying to protect the planet, they left so that
she's not a princess anymore.
Yeah, she's not. Her duties are done.
I mean, I think they're dead, guys. I think.
You know what? That was the part of the movie that I was like, this didn't need to happen.
Was it the singing? Was it the singing?
Here's the thing. They've done it before with Waterworld people, kind of like using singing. Like the big obvious one is like Harry Potter, where they had the mermaids, sing. But the way they did it was so elegantly done. While this one was like, no. And they weren't fish people. I wanted fish people. If your planet is like what was the statistic she said, like 95 whatever % water, and it's not water people, was very disappointed at that, first of all. But the fact that they synced the way they did to communicate, I was like, there could have been much better ways that could have gone out. It just didn't. I was like, all right, we're going Disney. We're going very Disney here.
Gotta remember Brie Larson could sing, than a writer.
That wasn't the actress that was singing for Captain Marvel, though, was it? I think it was someone else. It sounded like a different voice.
I wouldn't put it past it to be her. Tilt wanted to add, I think the scale versus the complexity of the plot are two different things. I agree. The plot here was simple, albeit on a grand scale. Easily identified villain, easy threat. It was not blocking us from relating to the characters. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But I appreciated that actually. Like I think I was more just contradicting what Ricky was saying. Like they don't all have to be huge scale. I would say this one was actually giant scale, but they focused so much on the characters that you kind of gloss over some of the scale of it. But they were going around the universe saving planets, and that's kind of like, I guess that's par for the course for you guys. But I would be okay if it was just saving Kamala's parents.
But that was par for the course. For Captain Marvel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's her scale of threat, so that's fine, but I do agree with you that they don't all have to be that, which is why like Ant-Man Quantumania kind of annoyed me, because it's like, stop trying to outdo yourself. And I really like that Guardians 3 was a little smaller scale, right? It wasn't like in a way. Yeah,
they stay in their circles.
It's kind of more it's kind of more personal for them, what's going on there.
Instead of it being like save the universe.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of always save the universe, but like it's but
they're the Guardians of the Galaxy, thing, so yeah.
But that's
in their name.
Yeah, but that said, I really, it felt weird to me how the movie was operating at this very minimalist level of complexity, and it wasn't serving it wasn't properly serving the scale of the action and stuff like that, or I mean the threats. It's fine, but I will agree the singing was weird. Like I wanted to like it.
Very weird.
I wanted to like it. I didn't like it that much. Like
no.
My only grievance, or I guess my main grievance with it was, or not with the singing, but I felt like I want to see Kamala do stuff with, like, they changed their powers, right? With she's not stretchy, she has like hard light. Mm-hmm. And she only used it she only made a giant hard light hand at the end. I wanted her to be throwing full on stretchy adjacent punches with this thing. And like, she doesn't really use it.
Saw that at the end. She kind of, or in the planet, she kind of did that.
In fairness, the movie established a reason for her not to do that. Like,
yeah,
like, I want to see her use the belt. I want to see
the movie. The movie basically, Marvel TV show. The movie basically said, we have an effects budget, so let's make this plot contrivance where most of the characters can't use their effects most of the time.
Hey, a clever way to do it.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was fun. It was like, I will say, Captain Marvel came off as a huge dick when they just got done explaining to her how this works, and then she just flies off into the sky, not knowing whether or not Kamala is capable of flight at all. And then the next, like a moment later, you hear a teenage girl falling out of the sky to her death. I was like, that's not cool. That's not cool in any way. It's not even funny. Like, you're just, but I do appreciate that was her arc. That was her arc, right?
That's like, part of in the comics too. She becomes kind of this different being at a certain point due to her power, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Her arc was to start out, in the movie being very a very solo act, like she's not a team
she was
player.
A lone wolf kind of thing. Yeah.
And so through the course of the movie, she finds a family in Monica Rambeau, which was already actually her family. Like, and then Kamala. I also thought, dick move to never have visited your niece like this entire time. Like that's it was hard for, like, honestly, like it was weird because so I know the first movie, the Captain Marvel gets a lot of hate for her character not being very likable, and I kind of agree with that. I wasn't really a big fan of her in that movie. I like the movie. I thought she, she did in interviews. She was saying how she actually like filmed the scene in Endgame, I think, before before Captain Marvel, so she hadn't quite figured out who she was as a character and stuff, and it's pretty weird because like I kind of like her more in Endgame than I did in her own movie, which is really funny. But I think the funny part about this movie, the Marvels, is they purposefully made her not likable in the beginning of the movie.
In the beginning, yeah.
Yeah, and
almost committed genocide. So,
yeah,
I mean,
let's be real.
that scene was just so sad.
Yeah. She did a lot of bad things, and they retconned the story to find out, oh yeah, she's kind of responsible for the destruction of the entire Kree Empire. She didn't just own like Ronan and all of their people. No, she really made the Kree Empire destitute, and that was weird.
Yeah.
That was weird to find out, because she had to have done that after Endgame, right?
No,
it could have happened before, because when she found out at the end of her movie about the whole threat, the movie actually ends with her going to Hala to confront
the Supreme
the
Intelligence.
AI.
Okay,
yeah.
So we're
and
saying
that's how it ended.
So we're saying when Ronan was in Guardians, like the Kree were already destitute.
I think, well, because Ronan was already he was on his own at that point. They make a mention that Ronan's like not even, he's what's I forgot the word, but like he's with his own zealot. Yeah, he's with his own crew on the ship. So
okay, all right. So they kind of just recontextualized Ronan to be more of like a holdout of a lost civilization, basically, right? Like, because I didn't know he was like, I was just excited that the Kree were there. But I guess what this means is this recontextualizes Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
The thing that's not canon?
It might
it's
be.
Not canon.
We don't know. In any case, I like these are all just weird nitpicks. At the end of the day, I actually really did like the action. I like the comedy a lot. I didn't need most of the sequences on Saber, the space station.
Sure.
Agreed. Yes.
I also didn't need, I would have preferred a more cohesive through line from the end of Secret Invasion to this. Like,
that was weird,
right? Like, we're just not even gonna acknowledge Secret Invasion in this movie. Just only Nick Fury. That's it.
To use like my food puns, I go to McDonald's and get a Big Mac. I know what a Big Mac is. I know what to taste like. I know what to expect. Every once in a while, when I get a Big Mac, it's like perfect. The bun's perfect. The meat's perfect. It's like it's a superior meal. And when you get those, it's a treat. But I'm not expecting those every time. And that's what I felt about this movie. I knew what I wanted going in, and I felt like I got what I needed. And I'm ready to move on.
I still very much enjoyed it, again, for all the reasons we pretty much discussed. But yeah, the space station, the Saber, I was like,
the flirking kitties.
That's the other scene. I didn't need
the trouble with tribbles. You didn't need the trouble with tribbles.
I didn't. I know exactly what they were doing, and I was like,
that said, as much as the Flurkin like the Flurkins overrunning the space station was dumb. I gotta say, I really did love the nightmare fuel of how they use the Flurkins to save everybody.
Oh, 100%.
Like that.
Good song
Like
too.
letting yes, and the song. My wife made sure I knew that they were doing the song from Cats. It was so funny. But like I really did enjoy watching everybody get sucked into whatever all like black hole is the Flurkin stomachs, with the hopes that they would all puke them up later. That was funny.
Yeah.
Like it was funny. I just didn't need as much time on that space station. I didn't care about all the different people. I don't even know who that guy, the big giant guy that was one of the astronauts.
Oh,
Monica.
Yeah.
Is he an Asgardian? What is he? I don't understand.
He
was part of like Wakanda or something at first, just because he looked like one of the warriors, the way his hairstyle was. And then when they started talking about like, oh, how old he was and everything, I'm like, oh, okay, he's just an alien, I guess.
Yeah.
But I thought that they were all together, and I was like, okay.
Were you disappointed that you didn't get your Men in Black space station, Ricky?
Men in Black space station,
like just like a base that was populated with way more aliens.
I mean, yeah, like that's my beef with Loki too, right? Like, there's no aliens in the TVA.
Agreed. Yeah.
If you don't look like a human, you are not stepping on that ship. That's basically what they're saying.
Yeah.
Aliens with human forms.
Yep. Yeah, because even Captain Marvel, like she doesn't. Only humanoid aliens are getting saved. The Skrulls, poor Skrulls, have to find a new planet.
I do have to ask the question though. Like at this point, like, why is Nick Fury there other than collecting a check? Like,
100%.
Oh,
because
they do collect a check.
Samuel Jackson's there to collect a check.
If I have Samuel Jackson on a retainer in whatever property, I'm pulling that card every single time.
Lacy, I just to be careful. Like, did you watch Secret Invasion?
I didn't watch all of it.
But you watched the first episode?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Where Maria Hill dies?
Yes. Yeah.
And then you're like, what was the point of that character for this entire? Yeah. That's
kind of one of the things I was just like, I don't know what's going on. This is
after watching this, I still believe that Secret Invasion should have been Nick Fury's swan song, and Maria Hill should have been the new director of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, even more so, because like, yes, it's cool that Nick Fury knows Carol. Like, that's okay, that's fine, but like, he didn't do anything in this movie. He's just there.
He pushed the button. He drove a escape pod. He shot a Kree.
He did something.
I'm not saying he's not charming. He is charming. I do always love Sam Jackson. I just wished that I feel
really,
like
really need to be there long.
I feel like at this point, I don't know what the direction of these movies is.
I don't either.
But that said, what did you think about the mid-credits scene?
Oh my God. Okay.
That reaction.
I've said it before on here, and I'll say it again. I am a huge X-Men fan. And the fact that they are finally fusing them into this universe makes me so happy. Oh, multiverse, technically. Which is kind of funny. It's kind of their way of saying, like, this is why the X-Men haven't showed up. They're in a multiverse.
Another dimension.
Which is funny, considering how, legally they weren't part of the universe. The only thing I didn't like was how they did Beast, because they've done Beast in the past, and he was way too CG'd. Way too CG'd.
Well, I thought he looked good. He had little teeth. He had teeth.
Like, he was bad. He just was so overly CG'd, and I like what they've done in previous films with Beast, where I don't know. Maybe that was just me. Maybe I'm just like, I'm the person where I watch like Jurassic World, and I'm like, bring back the animatronics. Why is everything got to be CG? So it's kind of that mentality where
So
I'm
you
just
want
like,
Kelsey Grammer in person. That's what you want.
yes. It wasn't terrible. I just wished it, wasn't all CG, but I flipped my shit.
I did not. I rolled my eyes. I love the X-Men. I do. But I'm tired of beating around the bush, and I'm tired of the multiverse. I think that only Spider-Man and Peter Parker and Miles are allowed to hang out in the multiverse from now on, because they're the only ones telling good multiverse stories.
Maybe now with Marvel owning Fox, maybe we'll get something good.
But it's not a now thing. They've owned it for a long time now. It's been several years.
They haven't really come up with anything, though.
But they've been sitting on this, and they've been toying with it. Like, we already got Professor X last year in Multiverse.
Yeah, they've had X-Men for a minute.
Yeah, they've had them for a while now, and they're just toying with us and teasing us. And I don't really want the X-Men to be like this. I don't want them to be like. I don't want Secret Invasion to be, or Secret Wars to be, the reason the X-Men get folded into this universe, because I don't want those X-Men. I want the X-Men. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's cute that Kelsey Grammer came back to reprise his role. It's cute that Patrick Stewart came back to reprise his role, but that's not. I don't want Kelsey Grammer and Patrick Stewart. I want X-Men that can age with all the Avengers and the Fantastic Four and stuff like that, So
Beast can age with everybody now because he's CG. He is. I mean, I'm gonna go on the limb and say they are different. Really, it's a different Beast. I
thought it's a different Beast too.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's the same Beast, but they're still doing that thing where they're making you. They're playing with your sense of nostalgia, right? Like, they know that that's
working.
That's a Beast from that's already established.
It's familiar,
I'm just saying, like, I don't want any more familiar X-Men. I want the real new toys. I want to see. I see, and we're already getting it again next year, and I think it's gonna be funny. But like, Hugh Jackman is for sure in Deadpool 3. And I'm just like,
yes, 100%.
But I'm just saying, like, stop it.
You want
stop.
Like Speedball and those ones, like the
Speedball is not an X-Men.
Oh, what? He's not?
No.
I thought he made the eggs.
You're talking about gold balls. You're talking
about
gold
balls. Okay, yes, gold balls. Sorry,
the other one.
The other ball character. Yes,
but I'm saying, like, no, I'm not even saying that. I'm saying I want them to cast a brand new team of the actual, like, X-Men, like Cyclops, Storm, all of them. Just give me them, but give me them with a brand new rapper and brand new actors, like we can grow up with, or a whole generation.
The movie's called All New X-Men.
That's fine too. I don't need it to be Cyclops and all them, but I'm just saying, like, as a Cyclops fan, it would be nice if we got a good Cyclops once ever.
I mean, yeah, and I'm just biased. I want more Nightcrawler.
Yeah,
we got him once.
But there's Colossus. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of characters, and I just feel like we keep dancing around the same ones, and I'm just kind of
agree.
I'm
okay with the classics, but bring in some new ones too.
Yeah,
I think you bring in the classics up until I'm fine with what they're doing, as long as they put him in the damn costume, and then get him out of here. Give me some new ones.
Yeah,
but get him in the pouch, the Jim Lee '90s costumes, and.
But so here's the thing I think that really made me roll my eyes about that post credits, and I know we've gone over for this show longer than we usually do, but the point of the story was supposed to be, oh no, Monica sacrificed herself by closing a hole in another universe from the other side, right? She made this grand sacrifice.
Mhm.
And then in the mid-credit scene, that sacrifice is kind of negated to be oh, look, you're in a fun universe. Look, it's X-Men, and it's like,
I kind of saw that coming, though. I'm not gonna lie. I
yeah,
saw that coming.
I don't.
I just didn't expect X-Men.
I honestly thought it was going to be the Cancerverse, which is like a big cosmic story in the Guardians, the Guardians universe,
okay.
which is more ominous, right? Because there's like evil like dead versions of characters that are trying to take over the entire universe and stuff like that, and like they're led by like an evil version of Adam Warlock and stuff like that. The Cancerverse is really just messed up, and like you can't die there, but like it's really it's
that could go dark.
I thought it was going to go dark, and I was really excited that it was going to go dark, because I was like, okay, this is a cool cliffhanger. Like it's a cool place to like end the movie with, like, we just lost one of the 3 brand new team members of this group. This is tragic. And then they turn this tragedy into a silly fan service moments. Yeah. And I feel like that's been the hallmark of Marvel lately, is like, if you ever go back and if you ever watch Quantumania, there's a sacrifice that's made at the end of that movie. And then 5 seconds later, they're like, nah, just kidding.
Spoilers.
So, like, yeah. And so I'm just really I'm getting tired of the story sacrificing itself for the sake of a fan service moment, and so when Beast showed up, but I get it. I do. 'Cause like, I know that my bitterness was not shared by everyone in the theater, because while I was there rolling my eyes like, oh God, it's Beast, this other guy is like standing up and he's like, get the fuck out. He's like freaking out. He's like so excited. And I'm like, what are you excited for? Because it's going to be like 3 years before we ever get any closure to this. And so that's my thing. Like,
that's true.
That's why I get frustrated when these stories are simple in complexity, because like, I like the TV shows so much more because they keep me entertained for like 10 weeks or 6 weeks or whatever it is. But like, they last, they keep me having fun. They simmer, and they get to do a story that I get invested in. But when I go to the movies now, I want them to be more than just bang, bang, pow. Like, I need there to be a reason. Why did this cost me $20 more than the Loki show that I just watched for 6 weeks? You know what I mean? Like,
the Loki show cost you more because you had to buy for 2 months.
It didn't, though, because I got 6 hours of it.
That's a dude. If you start going down that video game should cost way more. Let's don't go down that rabbit hole.
I'm saying video games, that's a good value you get, right? You pay $70 and you get like all this entertainment. I'll never say that video games are underpriced. I'll never say that, because I think we get a great value for them. But what I'm saying is, when I go and pay, X amount of money for my wife and I to go watch the Marvels, yes, I want to be entertained, but I also hope that it has something more to say than it did. That's all. That's, like, because the larger, like, why are they all connected? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is the point of it all being connected if we're not telling a story?
I think your premise falls there. I don't think they all at this point have to be connected.
I feel like they're introducing a lot of things, but at the same time, it's been going on long enough to where there should be something connecting now.
Exactly. I feel like they've just been playing They've been playing darts for like the last 5 years, and that's what's weirding me out.
Fleshing out the universe.
The only thing they are connecting. The only thing they're connecting, though, are the shows to the movies, which realistically is just sequels to the TV show. It's not really connecting anything. It's just, oh, look, a continuation without it being like a season 2.
Exactly.
And that's it. Yeah. It's not actually webbing all the things together just yet.
Yeah.
But usually by now they introduce something. This was around the time when we started slowly getting what was it? Captain America Civil War and stuff like that. We're like,
well, you
okay,
know
things
wrong.
start to fuse.
Yeah.
So we're not getting that yet. So it's kind of making me feel slightly aloof where I'm like, hey, these are fun, but there's nothing yet.
Honestly, honestly, to this day, the greatest, or like the most exciting cliffhanger that I've gotten from a Marvel movie's post Endgame has been Blade's voice off screen. Like, I'm still waiting for Blade. Give me Blade.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, in the Eternals. The Eternals. It's been so long. That was my favorite post-credit scene to date because I know that it means something, right? I know that it means that, okay, we're going to learn more about this later when Blade happens. But like when Beast shows up, I don't know that means anything. Like other than
I don't know anymore.
Isn't this funny? Isn't this cute?
It means it's cool.
You're the guy who liked the freaking Hawkeye musical.
It was great. I can do this all day.
All right. Well, I don't need to keep this going. I appreciate that you guys let me bitch and moan about the things I bitched and moaned about.
Yes, we did.
I still like the Marvels. I thought it was a really fun movie. I just I didn't like the mid-credit scene, and I didn't like the singing, and I didn't like the space station stuff.
Like the singing.
Yeah.
The two things I didn't like, yeah.
It's a solid B.
I give it a B minus.
And that's okay.
I give it a B plus.
B plus, yeah.
B plus? Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Again, aside from those two things, I actually really did enjoy it, mainly because of the character development. So
Kamala was everything.
The characters together. Oh, 100%.
Kamala carried the entire movie on her back. Like the whole thing. Like
I'm not mad about that.
No,
at all.
I'm not either. I still don't understand why they didn't have their suits and why they needed to get new versions of their suits made on the water planet.
Revamp.
Toys.
I missed that part of the movie, like somehow.
You bought that part of the movie.
I bought the toys for sure.
Yeah. So that's why.
Yeah.
Well, solid B's around the table. You can trust the B's in Den Excelsior show 113. That didn't rhyme as much like you wanted to.
Oh, that's bad, Ricky.
Let's get out of here. Go for it.
That rap was a B.
Lacy, do you have anything you want to plug before we leave?
No, I guess the only thing is if you're ever interested, and I do post them through my Zoro for Me 3 accounts, I do play way too much or not enough D&D, different kind of shows. So we have our own show called Behold Lore. And so yeah, just doing kind of some crazy things with that. We're actually coming out with a new show for the channel called Would Be Heroes, and it's actually a X-Men inspired show of us being superheroes, how we get our powers, and it's very like 90s kind of themed. And it's based off of the Kids on Bikes role playing system. So that's going to be fun. So it was kind of fun with this because who doesn't like the 90s X-Men?
I mean, I'm very excited for that cartoon to come back. It's going to be awesome. So yes, 90s X-Men is great, and I get that. That's why I was supposed to like that Beast was in the lab code and everything like that. I understand. I get it. I understand why I should have liked it because 90s X-Men are super cool.
90s X-Men are great.
They are the best.
Yeah.
The show is
Child
great.
Nostalgia.
Okay. All right. Well, that said, I think, Ricky, we hadn't discussed it before, but I think we're probably going to be taking a week off next week for...
I think we are.
The holidays.
Family obligations, yeah.
Family obligations. And also it'll give you a week to catch up on Invincible because I'm pretty sure you're not caught up on it.
What? Yes, I will catch up on Invincible.
Yes. That is also what I've been watching. I forgot when we were talking about stuff
there you go.
Geeking out. Episode 3 came out yesterday, and it was pretty awesome. Yeah, so
I have to wait for it all to be done so I could binge.
We'll talk about that more in a couple weeks. But until then, I guess everybody have a happy holidays and enjoy listening to us or watching us. However you did, like, subscribe, and go for it, Ricky.
With that, true believers, enough said.